Salete. So, before we get into our final exam, just based on your performance exam, we noticed some things we'd like to fix. Let's sing your songs. By the way, please note I am writing with my mouse, so my handwriting may be terrible. Deal with it. Just listen to the words. Not what you see. You are my subject, you're nominative, you run the verb. You may be puella, servu, canes. Plural, puellae, servi, canes. That'd be puellae, ae, servi, or canes. Woo, that was supposed to be the letter E. That didn't work. Okay. So weird things like canis, please remember, could be a whole bunch of stuff. So this weird squiggly line is anything like Clemens. There's no S on your chart. That's nominative. Rex, what? There's no X on your chart. That's nominative. Okay? There you go. A-E-O-I, yes, that's the dative. Use these endings when you show, tell, or give. E.C. Syllabus says 2 or 4. With indirect objects, special verbs, and more. Yeah. Okay. Whoa, that was supposed to be a B. That says ibis. That was Benny saying hi. Remember, 2 or 4 is key with dative, and you use it with verbs that need. Use these endings when you show, tell, or give. Accusative endings go im. The accusative endings go im. Benny's doing the wheels on the bus motions. It's direct object. The accusative plurals go associates. The accusative plurals go associates. It's still direct object. Yay! I hope you enjoyed that one as much as my little nugget did. I know, it's not fair. Last case is the ablative easy syllables by, with, from, and on, by, with, from, and on, by, with, from, and on, and since-based prepositions. By the way, I would make note that that A in ablative is long. This is me drawing a long mark. And yes, dative and ablative look the same, but context will set them apart. And I'm really hoping this video will help you with that because we are still struggling dative versus ablative. Okay? I know dative, ablative, plural look the same. It's going to be okay if you just stay calm and take note of my tips. Okay. So, you have a sentence. In reading comp, this happens all the time, and you have to figure out what case everything is. I say start with your verb. I always like to circle my verbs and pay attention to them. Okay, so notice that it ends in an NT. So something plural is doing my subject. So if you look at plural, puellae, servi, or canes, right? These are your plural options. What do you see in the sentence that has one of those endings? Yes, onculi. Onculi is the nominative. Boom. Ooh, why is it pink? Oh, I changed it. Ugh. Onculi is the nominative. Those of you who say, oh, but it could be dative. Yeah, but that's dative singular, baby. You have a plural verb. Not to mention, use these endings when you show, tell, or give. Are either of these show, tell, or give? To be afraid? To hurry? Yeah, Benny says no. So you don't get a dative. It's nominative. Okay, so onculi. So when you do your translation, you want to find a nominative and you want to find a verb. Good, we found one. So the slave girls who, right, this is your relative clause. Skip the words that end in M. These are accusatives. Get a verb. So the slave girls who were afraid of the master. Urbe festinavirunt, hurried out of the city. This is ablative. Urbe. Do you see that E? This one right here? That's ablative. The last case is the ablative aoe, urbe. Also, what makes it ablative is, ooh, I'm going to get a little highlighter going on in here. What also makes it ablative is the preposition right in front of it. Eh. Okay. In fact, if you find any preposition, oh, Benny, please don't press that button. The word that follows it, if it's SID space, let's take a moment and write our SID space prepositions. Sine. Ooh, don't push the power button, Benny. Sine. I forgot how to spell SID space for a moment. In. De. The first word was sine, by the way. S-I-N-E. Sub. Pro. Ab. Cum. X. What you need, babe? Okay. That's SID space. If you see those prepositions, the word that follows it is ablative. One moment, please. So, please notice that, yes, this sentence is longer because it has this relative clause in the middle, the quae dominum timebat. However, if you would like to, you can focus on your main sentence, which is outside. The slave girls... Is the turtle stuck? I'm so sorry. Here. The slave girls hurried out of the city. That's the main sentence. It's just this relative clause starting with quae is telling you more information about the slave girls. Which slave girls? All of them? No. The slave girls who were afraid of the master. That's all this relative clause is. Okay, let's do number 2. Take a moment, pause the video, mark it, and then come back and check yourself. Okay, you should have circled intrawit as a verb, noticing it ends in T, so your subject is he, and ostendit is a verb. Subject is he, singular. So we look at our singular endings. We're looking for something a, us, or something weird. Oh, look, there's a us right here. So quintus is nominative. Now, you have an is and a amicis. You have an is in termis. Do we need a dative? Well, we might, because we have a verb of show. You show something to someone. So, which one is dative, which one's ablative? Well, if we have a preposition, a SID space preposition, we can find the ablative. In was SID space. So termis is ablative. I know that because of the preposition in front of it. This is me doing a squiggly underline for ablative. Amicis is dative. He showed to the friends. And then I hope you got discos because OS is always accusative. Pretty straightforward. So the sentence says, after he entered the, please remember, your V sucks long E is making me say duh. Okay, this is our final exam review, so I'm going to cover everything. V sucks long E is making me say duh. And the BA is making me say was or were, which is why in the first sentence I said was afraid. Or actually it was were afraid. Okay, number 3. Oh, sorry, I didn't finish the sentence. After he entered the Quintus, now go all the way to the verb. Showed, and then really there's a, you can, as long as you say to the friends, you can do the rest however you want. Showed the discs to the friends in the baths. I like to go nominative, verb, accusative, and then go from there. So Quintus showed the discs. And then I said to the friends in the baths. Number 3, go ahead and mark it. And then play the video. Okay, you should have in taberna is ablative. If you make note of that long A, it's easy to pick out an ablative. Look at that short A of Metella, long A of taberna. Short A Metella, long A taberna. Also, the preposition in front of taberna will help you find the ablative. Metella was your nominative. Quinto. So, some of you have been confusing dative and ablative. Is there a preposition in front of quinto? Is there a preposition right here to help you tell me this is ablative? No? Okay, then make a dative. Os is always accusative, and alleged is your main verb. Et means we got a compound sentence. Dedit's also a main verb. You probably underline I as nominative. But look, if it's nominative, then it's plural. Yes? Is dedit plural? No. Not to mention, where does Mercator fall in this group of nouns? Is it an A noun, a US, or something weird? Mercator, or, is something weird. So that I is dative. Okay? You can't tell me it's nominative plural. I don't have a plural verb. Not to mention I have a verb of show, tell, or give. So, when you're doing your reading comp, find a nominative, then a verb, then an accusative. Metella chose togas. That's what we got. She chose togas for Quintus. In the shop. Put in the shop wherever you make it happen. In the shop, Metella chose togas for Quintus. And, skip it, gave money to the merchant. Number 4. Pause, do your markings. Okay. Clemens Offeribot was offering. Okay, so there's your verb. T tells me one person. I need words that end in M. Oh, that's what he's offering. Oh, thank you. Benny's offering me a googly eye. In triclinio, there's an ablative, right? Because in gives it away in the dining room. And IBUS. It's either dative or ablative. Is there a preposition in front right here? No? Okay, then it's dative. 2 or 4 easy syllables. So, find a nominative. Clemens. Find a verb. Was offering. Find your accusative. Wine and food. Ooh, Benny, can you take your foot off? Thank you. And then pick the however you want to finish it. Was offering wine and food to the guests in the dining room. Now, I really want to get to number 5 because these QU phrases really make things complicated. I encourage you to bracket them off because you can't always go from the first word to the last word in the sentence. Here we go. Mark it and report back. Errand is your main verb. NT means something plural. Look at those plurals. AE, I, and ES. Okay, so many beasts are the subject. Many beasts were in the palace. Boom. Or we can rephrase it. There were in the palace many beasts. Thank you, Benny. Who the king imported. Ooh, that should just be importawit. Typo. Importawit. Who the king imported from many lands. That is ablative. It's not an east dative. We did not have a verb of show, tell, or give. Not to mention that preposition tells me I got an ablative. Let's do this last one, this QU phrase. Go. Rex is your main subject. Tenabat is a verb. It ends in a T, your subject's he. Sedabat is a verb. It ends in a T, your subject's he. Skiptrum, is accusative. So when you translate it, your main sentence is the king was sitting in the atrium. That is ablative. Thank you for, I forgot to mark it. There's a squiggly underline. But tell me about this king. The king who, skip the word that ends in M, was holding the scepter. So the king who was holding the scepter was sitting in the atrium. I know that your Latin sentences are getting longer, but if you use your cases and read in Latin first, it will always be easier. Valete!